Yeah.
Good evening. This is Tuesday, August 31st, meeting of the Community Preservation Committee. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and some of the attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and anything you decide to screen share on your computer or any thing you broadcast will be captured and recorded. This is Tim Wheeler, Chairman of the Community Preservation Act Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members are here. So MJ, are you here?
I'm here.
And Carolyn?
I am here as well.
And Eloise?
Yes.
Officially, and Tim. So we have a quorum. With the quorum of the committee present, call the meeting to order at 7:33. The open meeting of the Community Preservation Act Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency. Blah, da, 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 da. Specific information guidelines for the remote participation by members of the public can be found in the Town of Berlin website. And please speak clearly. So that's enough of that. Minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes.
We do.
And does someone want to make a motion to accept the minutes?
So move.
Second?
Move that we accept all 3 sets of minutes.
Perfect.
I second.
And any additions or corrections?
None noted.
Okay, we'll do a roll call
No.
in favor of accepting the minutes. Carolyn,
Aye.
MJ,
Aye.
and Eloise.
Aye. Yes.
Perfect. Three things. One is the budget, which I have some figures on, which I'll share a little later. And our accounts, essentially. And then we want to accept the final draft of the plan. And we want to talk about our next meeting. So those are the 3 things of most importance. So I dabbled with the plan a little bit. I developed some links at the back for the master plan, the open space plan, and the link to the capital planning committee's form for capital requests. I found the 2016 housing production plan, and I'll put a link. We don't, Eloise, that isn't on the housing partnership site and the town website, right?
I don't know if I've ever found the housing partnership site on the town's website, but I do think it should be linked. It's the most recent.
So I will take that plan and get it linked up. So I'll put it on one of our pages anyway. Actually, I can't put it. Carolyn, if you know how to put them, you've got access to the town's website to put stuff on, right?
I think I just have access to the conservation section though. I can definitely log in, but I don't think I can edit other people's pages.
Tom was going to give me the credentials to do that, and he hadn't done it yet. So I'll do that because I need to get on this page, and that way I'll put it on the planning board page and I'll put it on the housing partnership. I mean, yeah, I can, maybe he'll let me put it on housing partnership, who knows? But anyway, we'll have a link to those documents, those 4. Are there others that we want to link to that we can think of now? That's open space, housing, master plan, and the link to the capital planning committee's form for applying.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't, because there aren't any other recreation as part of the open space plan. And historical doesn't really have anything yet.
All right.
Would you like a motion?
I wanted to, what else did, oh, and I attached, if I didn't attach yet, I'm going to attach in a minute. A copy of the addendum for historic preservation applications. And I dusted that up, so I changed it so it reflects Berlin instead of Canton. So that'll be, we'll have the application, the pre-application, and we'll have that form in there as well.
Awesome.
And then the only other problem I had was on that big chart, trying to get the headings to line up. So if you have a chance, you're good with Word, right, Carolyn?
Yep.
If you look at that and it seems really still whacked out, if you want to dance with it a little bit, that'd be great. But if it looks all right, we'll go with it, and we'll just add this other stuff, and then we'll put it up on our site as finished.
And are we going to put it up as a PDF?
Yeah, that makes the most sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not the application for capital planning, because if somebody wants to pull it down, that way they
True.
can, you know, print it out.
Well, I don't put that on there. I put it on as a link.
Oh, okay.
So if they're in our document, there are links to those plans and that application. And they
Okay.
click on that and it'll take them to the application. And
Okay.
then they can deal with it. I think that's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah. Especially because it does get hard. If we are going to save it as, upload it as a PDF, it gets hard to pull certain things out that we want
Right.
to be more interactive.
Okay. So when you look, I mean, I may have screwed some stuff up. So if you see stuff that you say, oh my God, what did you do now?"
Yeah. Yeah, Word is a challenge. I don't always understand. It used to be way back in the day that you could toggle something on the menu that it would show all of the paragraph breaks and all of the indents and everything. So you could see what it is that's in there that's messing up your alignment. And I haven't seen that in a long time,
Yeah.
but
Okay. So
yeah, I'll look at it.
if people are content, we'll take a motion to accept the plan as the final draft and the final format, and we'll post it.
So
So
moved.
moved. All right, Eloise,
Do
I'll
we have a
second.
All
Yep.
right, we have and any discussion about that? All right, and we'll take a roll call on that. Carolyn,
Aye.
MJ,
Aye.
Eloise,
Yes.
aye for Timothy. That's a unanimous present vote anyway. Nicely done. Good job. Nice to have that out of the way. Now we'll have
Yes.
to, now we'll have to get ready for the onslaught. June says that actual fiscal year 20.
There should be 2 years worth of numbers, right?
You know,
Okay.
what I've got is the fund balance in open space is 77,483.
That feels a little high, doesn't it?
Well, we transferred 48,466.70.
From last year.
Or the first year before we had the committee.
Well, the 48 was what we did at the annual town meeting this year.
So the difference must be, so the 48 was for fiscal year 21. And the balance must be from FY 20.
This is actual 6/30/21 for fiscal year 22. TM.
So 630, so that would have been at the end of fiscal year 2021.
Right.
Which was in June.
So she has CPA fund balance open space, 125,950. The same for historical, the same for affordable housing. And then the CPA fund balance.
Wait a
which-
minute. That was 125?
Well, let's be hesitant about including these in the minutes,
Okay,
formally in the minutes.
okay.
If you don't record these, it's all right with me.
I'll just say we discussed the balances.
Yeah. And it's on the recording here, but I'd like to interpret it with June. She sent these this afternoon. And then 145,400 withdrawn from the CPA fund balance, which is the equivalent of the three $48,000 amounts that we did this year. But then she has the 48 and the 77 in the two different columns added together as 125,950, which is on the line with open space. So open space, historical and affordable all end up with about 126,000. And then the fund balance has 383. 761, 174 is the total. We collected in fiscal 20, 286,904, which is the number we've used added to the 197 or whatever we got from the state, but she says in fiscal year 21, we've collected 474,270, which.
Right, because in FY 20, we just collected the town's portion. FY 21, we collected the town's portion and got the state match. So
But that
there's been
the
3. Go ahead.
So you think the 474 is the state match and what we collected in fiscal 21?
I do.
And what we collected from the state in fiscal 21 is based on the fiscal year 20 figure, the 286.
I don't think it's based on it. I think it's just similar. Because it
Well,
was.
the state looks at
pers-
what you generate locally and then gives you a percentage in each round that gives you your total dollar amount,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
right?
Yeah. Right, because
We'll get good at this.
we will.
I
We're
would
not
like-
spending any of it tonight, so there is that.
Right.
I would like to go on record to handling the money like Hudson does. You get it in first before you spend it. I would hate to award money and then find out, oops, we got ambitious and we now have to pull money back.
So what we had was for fiscal 20, we collected 290,392, but there may have been a few problems, because on here she's got a figure of 286,904. So she's got a figure that's $2,500.
So have an amount for administrative?
Yeah, 24,233. 5%. So anyway, I will have a conversation with her. You have appropriated for administrative expenses 24,233, and the budgeted reserve 315,000. So if we were to look at it that way, see, we've only moved, well, I guess she had the authority that first year to move money into the 3 accounts without
Right.
town vote.
Correct.
So
But-
it should,
But
Only for that first year.
But that wouldn't have been greater than last year's 48,000. Because it didn't have a state match. I wouldn't think. Anyway,
Right.
I'll chase her down and ask her how to interpret these for our next meeting.
okay,
And in November, we'll begin to hear what the state's going to give us this time around. Which, according to all the forecasts, should be pretty substantial, I guess.
right.
Today's August 31st. What do we need to do? We need to meet at the end of September, because we'll probably see some applications
I think that's true.
before the end.
Yep,
And those will be preliminary, and we'll have to advise people as to how we're going to proceed.
yes.
And if there's still no official date for a town meeting, right, Eloise?
Not to my knowledge.
So, I mean, there may not even be one, but I think,
Yeah, but we have to get the budget forms out anyway.
so I mean, we anticipate there's probably going to be some.
And the first round, I would expect it to be, it's a learning process for everybody.
Right.
So,
So do you want to meet at the end of September?
Wednesdays are the best for you, right, MJ?
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to wait all the way to the 29th, or do we want to do the 22nd?
22nd, I have conservation. Oh,
So-
actually, that's not true. We meet the 1st and 3rd,
Oh, yeah.
and there's 5 Thursdays in September. So I could do the 22nd or the 29th.
Well, maybe the 22nd makes the most sense, because it gives us an extra week,
Right,
particularly if there's going to be a town meeting in, for instance, sometime in early November or something. That would only give us 6 weeks.
right.
Why would we have a town meeting in early November? Are
When
we,
would you have it?
what,
When would you have it?
next May?
I know, but what happens if there's one before then?
Well, I don't have an election in November, so
You're not as antsy about it.
no.
But
Well-
there has been discussion about the possibility of needing a town meeting in the fall.
I'd like to get the answer back from the Attorney General for the stuff for the town meeting, the annual town meeting, before we talk about doing more stuff to them.
So we haven't got a response from the Attorney General on May's town meeting?
No, I think the deadline is September 12th.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's 60 days after I get it to them. See,
But that's an unusually long period of time for them to take. They must be shorthanded like everybody else, huh?
but the other problem is, okay, town meeting is usually the first Monday in May.
Right.
And as soon as town meeting's over, I have to get ready for the town election because that's the second Monday in May. So I have to put aside, I can't do submittals to the Attorney General until well after the election. You know?
Oh, yeah, I'm just thinking, usually you get response back from the Attorney General sometime in late July or August, don't you?
Yeah, but it depends what else they're dealing with.
Right.
Oh, well,
And wasn't town meeting a little bit late this year?
Yeah, it was, I think, what, June 24 comes to mind. So everything got pushed off a month.
Right.
And
So
if they
that-
find any errors in my submittal, that starts the 6 o'clock all over again.
all over. Yeah. Anyway, so the 22nd of September for a meeting of this committee. That'll be our next time. I'll get a Zoom reservation for that.
Is that at 7:30?
Is that good for folks?
Works for me.
And anything else to talk about?
I don't think so.
I will be interested to see what kind of a response we get.
In terms of applications?
Yeah,
Eloise, an aside, I've asked Central Mass to give the planning board and the housing partnership a proposal to do the update on the housing production plan.
cool.
And so they're gonna put together a proposal for us.
Well, it shouldn't be that hard because we just got our numbers for housing due to the 2020 census. So it will be very timely.
Did the total number of housing units
It
went
wa-
up to 13 something?
It was less than I had anticipated, and that's because the census is as of where were you? April 1, 2020. And Riverbridge had not received any of their occupancy permits.
Right. So when I had done calculations before, I'd ended up with somewhere around 1,600 units. So if I subtracted Riverbridge, we'd end up with like 1,400, and we ended up with like 1,335 or something. So
Well,
I was trying to figure out what 60 or 65 units we have included based on Molly's figures that the state wouldn't have included.
Well,
Um,
sometimes you have houses that get torn down and or there's nobody in it or any one of a number of odd things.
So they include a number that says occupied and then unoccupied.
Correct.
So for the purposes of the SHI, what do you count? The unoccupied or the occupied?
The occupied.
Right. So April 1st is still, a lot of snowbirds are still in Florida.
Yeah, but you're still a citizen even if you're away that time.
Right. Unless they're doing the Florida residency, but we count their house.
correct. And I have a bunch of them. Well,
Right.
maybe a half dozen.
So anyway,
that-
if our new housing number is 275 units below where we thought it could have been, we're still going to be at 14% or something.
Yeah. But that will carry you for the next, what, 10 years?
That carries us for 10 years.
Yes, until the next federal census.
And
And
The-
I won't be town clerk.
when you
Just
look,
telling you.
at-
Sure.
don't count on it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
You
as
can't
people
leave till
have
we
been
find a
town clerk
replacement.
For 9 of those years.
Yeah, you can't leave until we find a replacement that's suitable to all of us, right? So,
I agree.
yeah.
Mean
Mean.
people.
So, and then the total population didn't jump as much as I had thought.
Well, I mean, if there aren't, you had a number of deaths.
Yeah,
And if you didn't, if you figure Riverbridge, most of them are occupied by 2 people. So if you didn't have occupancy permits out for Riverbridge, then.
right.
But we have had a lot of new housing. So I was surprised that we didn't get as big a hit.
Right.
But like they didn't count the 58 South Street, which is going to be known as Wilson Road. I have to get used to getting it in my mind.
So, okay. Very good. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
I'll just write everybody seconded.
And the roll call, Carolyn,
unanimous.
Yes, aye.
MJ,
yes.
Eloise,
Yes.
Tim, I, it's unanimous. The meeting is closed at 7:59. Nice job.
Nice.
Excellent.